Tonight, public confidence in Jesus the Nazarene is on the decline. One man stating, "If he's the Messiah, my granddad is Julius Caesar." How are you spending Passover? Our political correspondent Alison Crowe finds out. A live interview with Jesus brought to us by Alison. And competition time. Your chance to win a basket full of chocolate eggs. All this and more on Jerusalem Tonight. Good evening, I'm Esther Lewis and this is Jerusalem Tonight. Public opinion of Jesus the Nazarene is on the decline. Earlier this week, members of the public seemed incredibly happy and excited about who Jesus was and what he was going to do. But as the week has worn on, people do not seem as elated as they were. Let's take a look.
That Jesus has been winding up Ponty Pilate like no one's business. Well, no good'll come of that, I'll tell you. No sense of humour, these Romans. Think it's their Latin temperament. It'll be no good him coming on all Messiah-like in front of the Romans. They won't stand for none of that. Me, I don't want anything more to do with him. If he's the Messiah, my granddad's Julius Caesar.
Yeah, so we were there on Sunday and he was doing amazing stuff and just wow, ready to see more and more miracles. So we came out here to the lake, followed him, thought it would be good and we'd see him walking on water, more miracles, really excited. But to be quite honest, it's just been useless. Too much of a risk, really. I think if we follow him, we're going to get into trouble. And seeing is believing, isn't it? And we haven't seen anything. What's the point in that, So, it's one of these phases, these fad things. And no, that's all I have to say, really. It's a shame because you get your hopes up, don't you? And then these things, they don't actually become real. But hey-ho, we might see somebody one day who's walking on the water and then we might be able to believe it a bit more. But until that time, not for me, no. Cheers, thanks.
Well, to be honest, I think it's all been a bit hyped up. You know what it's like when a crowd gets together, and I think I just got caught up in it. I mean, he doesn't look special. It's not really what I expected. And people say they've seen him do miraculous things, but I've never seen it. They're saying that it's not really true. I mean, I don't know, but I've not seen anything. Sorry, got to go.
I just can't do it. It's going to leave me in such a mess. It's going to leave us all in such a mess. I just can't follow him.
So it seems people have not seen him walk on water and folks are worried about Roman response. It is Passover, so let's go across to our political correspondent, Alison Crowe, who is hoping to talk to some of you about your celebrations for Passover this evening and to also catch up with Jesus himself. Hello, Alison, what's happening where you are?
Hello, Esther. Well, there is definitely a buzz in the air. People are very excited and having lots of fun. Now, just before I speak to some members of the public, I must inform you that we have been looking for Jesus for the last 2 hours. Unfortunately, we have not found him, and no one seems to know where he is. He must be celebrating Passover, and there have been some reports that he is celebrating with some of his closest friends, but I cannot confirm those reports at the moment. Whilst we are waiting to find his location, I'm going to speak to some people to get an insight on their festivities this evening. Right, let's start over here.
Sorry folks, it seems that we have lost Alison for the moment. We will try to get her back and hope that she has found Jesus. In the meantime, let's talk about Passover and what it means. I have some very good friends who are going to help me with this.
Hi Chloe.
Hi Jack.
So, what is the Passover festival about?
Well, it's one of the most important festivals in the Jewish year.
Passover is a celebration of the Exodus when the people of Israel were set free from slavery in Egypt. The Israelites cried out to God to save them, and God heard their cries and sent Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. First, he had to go to the Pharaoh and tell him that God said, "Let my people go."
Oh yes, I remember. Pharaoh said no.
And Moses warned him that God would send terrible plagues if he did not let his people go.
But Pharaoh still said no.
So God sent 10 different plagues. Each one was worse than the other.
Oh yeah, I remember these. There were frogs and flies and locusts, and the river turned to blood, and the sky turned black, and the people were covered in pus-filled boils. Disgusting.
And still Pharaoh said no.
Then what happened?
Well, before the 10th plague, God told Moses that the Israelites should mark their doorposts with the blood of the lamb, so that the angel of death would pass over and spare them from the plague. After the 10th plague, the Pharaoh agreed to let the people go.
Oh, so that's why it's called Passover, because the angel of death passed over. And how will people be celebrating Passover?
Well, the Passover is celebrated with a series of rituals. Each ritual symbolises a different part of the story. One evening, before the Passover starts, people gather together with family and friends for a special meal called a Seder meal.
Oh, I love celebrations that involve food.
Me too. They eat special food which represents different parts of the story. Bitter herbs. They represent the suffering when the Israelites were slaves. A sweet brown paste of fruit and nuts, which represents the mortar making bricks when they were slaves. Parsley, dipped in salty water, represents the spring harvest and tears of the Israelites in their suffering. A hard-boiled egg symbolises mourning.
Yum! I like hard-boiled eggs, especially on picnics.
A lamb bone represents the lamb that was sacrificed and brought to the temple, and the blood that marked the doorposts. Black bread because the Israelites had to leave in a hurry, and there was no time to make bread and leave it to rise.
Wow, that's interesting. So everything they eat has a special meaning that helps them remember.
Yes, and there are also 4 small glasses of wine for each time that God promised freedom, and an extra cup of wine left for Elijah. The door is left open to represent waiting for Elijah and announce the coming of the Messiah. During the meal, the story of Exodus is told. Everyone takes part in the reading, and they also sing lots of songs. It is a time of remembering and celebration of what God has done for the people.
Thank you. That was very informative. I think it's safe to say that we are not going to be able to reconnect with Alison tonight, and we would like to apologise for any inconvenience caused as we have not been able to bring you this coverage. And now for competition time. Remember that answers must be emailed in by midnight on Friday.
Would you like to win all these chocolate eggs in this basket? If you would, just complete the following statement. put all of your eggs into A, the back of a lorry, B, one basket, C, the cat litter tray? Email your answers to jerusalemtonight@gmail.com. Answers must be in by midnight on Friday. The winner will be notified on Saturday. The best of luck to you all.
And the best of luck to you all. And that is all we have time for tonight. We hope you all have a very pleasant evening. From all of us here at Jerusalem Tonight, good night.